Welcome back to the Observable Unknown. For today's mailbag episode, a listener has written in, "Dear Dr. Ray, I'm suffering from terrible all-over-my-body pain and have for years now. The doctors have tried everything and keep telling me that there's nothing they can do because they don't know what's wrong. I'm already at my wit's end and I've started thinking about self-harm. I don't want to become addicted to opiates, but that's the direction I'm leaning now. Please, if there's anything you can recommend, tell me. Sincerely, Alyssa F." Dear Alyssa, your letter contains many painful sentences. One of them concerns me more than all of the others. You wrote that you've begun thinking about self-harm. I have to begin there. Not because I believe you're weak, not because I believe you're unstable, but because chronic pain changes people. Pain consumes attention, it consumes sleep, identity, pain consumes hope. And after enough years, even extraordinarily resilient people begin wondering how much longer they can carry it. So before we discuss anything else, I want to say something directly to you. If thoughts of self-harm are becoming persistent, frequent, or difficult to control, please reach out to someone immediately. A physician, therapist, trusted friend, a crisis line, or a family member. Someone, not tomorrow, but now. Because pain can become convincing, and convincing is not the same thing as correct. The goal tonight is not merely helping you manage pain, it's helping you survive the conclusions pain is trying to teach you. One of the great frustrations of chronic illness is that people often hear the same sentence repeatedly. We don't know what's wrong. Patients hear that sentence as abandonment. Doctors often mean something else entirely. They mean, we've not yet found an explanation. Those aren't the same statement, yet after enough years, they begin feeling identical. What makes chronic pain uniquely difficult is that it occupies a strange territory between uncertainty and certainty. The pain is real, the suffering is real, the exhaustion is real, yet the explanation remains completely unclear, and human beings tolerate uncertainty poorly. For much of the 20th century, pain was treated as though it were a simple alarm system. An injury occurs, a signal travels, pain appears, and the story ends. But modern neuroscience paints a far more complicated picture. The nervous system isn't a passive messenger, it's an active interpreter. The brain participates in the experience of pain. The spinal cord participates, memory participates, expectation, emotion, and attention all participate. Pain's real, yet pain is also processed. That distinction is a remarkably important one. Researchers studying chronic pain, central sensitization, and related conditions have discovered that some nervous systems become extraordinarily efficient at producing pain signals, not because the person is imagining pain, not because the person is weak, but because their nervous system has learned vigilance. That alarm system becomes increasingly sensitive, and eventually the body begins reacting to signals that once would have been ignored. This is one reason conditions such as fibromyalgia, central sensitization syndromes, complex regional pain syndrome, and certain chronic pain disorders can be so difficult to treat. The original problem may be gone, the nervous system might continue firing away. The alarm remains active after the fire has ended. And this is where I want to introduce a distinction that changed the way I think about suffering. The goal isn't always symptom elimination. Sometimes the goal is reclaiming agency. Because one of the most devastating things chronic pain steals is not comfort, it steals influence. A person begins organizing their life around their limitations. Pain decides when they travel, when they socialize, when they work, when they rest. Pain becomes the primary architect of their future. That's a terrible burden. And it's exactly why I spent many years building what eventually became my 395-day neurosomatic activation system called 395 Days to Putting Yourself Back Together. Not because I believed I had discovered a cure for chronic pain, I hadn't, and anyone promising simple cures for complex chronic conditions deserves skepticism. My interest was quite different. I wanted to understand what remained possible after people had stopped believing anything was possible. The system combines neuroplasticity exercises, attentional training, vagal regulation, Broca-Wernicke integration, observation protocols, recovery sequencing, movement practices, and nervous system recalibration. Its purpose isn't convincing the body that pain doesn't exist. Its purpose is preventing pain from becoming the sole author of a person's identity, because the brain remains modifiable. The nervous system remains trainable. Hope often disappears long before plasticity does. One of the most fascinating discoveries in modern neuroscience is that attention itself changes the brain. Whatever repeatedly captures awareness receives reinforcement. Pain knows this. Pain demands attention constantly, and understandably so. potential. The problem is that an organism focused exclusively on pain gradually becomes better at noticing pain. The nervous system learns the route, the pathway strengthens, the signal gains priority. This doesn't mean pain is imaginary, it means attention is biological, and biology adapts. Many neuroplasticity protocols therefore begin with remarkably simple exercises, not because they're simplistic, but because they're foundational. Attention shifting, sensory differentiation, breath regulation, cross-lateral movement, observation without catastrophization, incremental exposure to previously avoided activities. The goal is teaching the nervous system that reality contains more than threat. Alyssa, if I were sitting across from you tonight, I'd recommend several practical steps. First, seek immediate support for the self-harm thoughts. Don't negotiate with that recommendation. Second, if you've primarily worked with general practitioners, consider evaluation through a dedicated pain specialist or a multidisciplinary pain clinic. Third, ask whether central sensitization, fibromyalgia spectrum conditions, autoimmune disorders, connective tissue disorders, sleep disorders, and mood disorders have been thoroughly investigated. Fourth, protect your sleep aggressively. The nervous system can't recalibrate while chronically sleep deprived. Fifth, move. Not heroically or aggressively. Move beneath the thresholds that provokes severe flares. Consistency often matters more than intensity. Most importantly, don't wait for pain to disappear before resuming life. That bargain never works. Most people unknowingly place life on hold until symptoms improve. Years can pass. The nervous system learns waiting. The world becomes smaller. Recovery becomes harder. The question isn't how do I get my old life back? The question is what life can I begin building from where I stand today? Those are extremely different questions. One faces the past, the other faces the future. And despite everything your letter contains, I noticed something very important. You're still searching, asking, and reaching. That means a part of you hasn't surrendered. Protect that part fiercely, because it may be carrying more of your future than you realize. Pain can teach many things. Don't allow it to teach you that you're finished. It doesn't possess that authority. If this mailbag reached somewhere painful inside of you, please make that known. Leave a rating or a review, not for recognition, but for signal, so possibility reaches places where suffering has mistaken itself for permanence. Until next time, remember, you don't become what you feel, you become what you return to, and what you return to returns as you.